Hello, my name is Dominique Cobb. I am a student of the Public Policy and Administration program. My topic today, my case study today, I am speaking about the revitalization of the East Tampa community, engaging the community for the next generation. I currently just bought a home in East Tampa. I've always lived in this area. I grew up in this area, and I wanted to pick a case study that involves me and the people in my community. I had a chance to sit down with two experts in the area, and I also was able to, participate in other ways to get an analysis of, the issue, and also engage with the people who I interview and see them actually in work. So the issue is that the community of East Tampa lacks engagement with city officials, and it's causing the CRA, that is the Community Revitalization, and also the CAC, to not know what the community needs and want. This issue has key factors that can affect residents in the community of East Tampa standard of living. So I'm sorry guys, I'm a little nervous. So I actually was supposed to go and speak to the board, or the committee. The committee is a makeup of the city council and other officials. The person who is my expert is the city councilman Orlando Goulds, who is over District 6, which is East Tampa. So I got to speak to him, but I was not able to attend the meeting for April because of the pandemic that is currently going on, the COVID-19, or the coronavirus. So they had to cancel all the city meetings because of it. And I too am a commissioner for historic preservation, so my meetings have been canceled for April and May also. But anywho, I did get a chance to speak to him over the phone, and I also was able to catch a meeting, which was March the 12th of 2020, where the East Tampa CRA president, who is led by Mr. Johnson, gave an overview of the things that the community needs, and he also gave an overview of the budget for East Tampa. One thing I noticed is that the budget for East Tampa was much smaller than the other CRAs in Tampa. For instance, downtown Tampa, the Ybor CRA, and also the Channel Side CRA. Some of those budgets were almost double what the East Tampa community has. That was a issue for me, that me living in this area, why is this area not getting the money that other areas are getting? So what I did was I looked at the meeting. I also was able to do a bit more research on why the budget is much smaller, and the issue that arose was that the neighborhood did not engage like those in other areas. Those in the area of Channel Side. If you're familiar with Tampa, the Channel Side district has a bunch of high rises. There are a bunch of businesses in that area, and they actively seek out developers to develop that area to attract them to Tampa in the downtown area. But East Tampa, on the flip side, is a smaller community where there are a lot of retirees, and the average income for East Tampa is $30,000. So of course you have $1 million high rises or $30,000 homes. More money is going to go to the area that has more attractiveness. So I spoke with the East Tampa CAC, which is another one of my experts. Her name is Natasha Goodley. She we spoke over the phone, seeing as though right now we're on a stay-at-home order. I did not get to go out and meet her, but we did have a lengthy conversation. Our interview was about an hour long. Most of that interview was talking about how she is the chair of the CAC and how they have different grants that are available to to the community, but a lot of those grants are not being taken advantage of or being used. So I asked her what was one of the main issues for the community not engaging, and she stated that a lot of people were either working or didn't have the time to show up to those meetings and voice their different opinions. So what I did was I listened to what she had to say, and I also took a few notes. One, because this is an interesting topic, and two, I live in the area. So that was a big, it was really insightful for her to give me those things, those important, those important keys to where, since I live in the area, I can possibly take advantage of those also. So after speaking to her, I actually spoke with I spoke with the councilman Goose, who is also a chair for the community. It's the Community Advisory Board. That's who I was eventually going to go and talk in front of, but he is a chair for that. He's also the councilman. And one of the things that stood out to me from the meeting from March 12th is that he stated he was tired of seeing homes in East Tampa covered in blue tarps. And so me living in East Tampa, I see the same thing, but it's regular to me. I see homes that the roofs are caved in, or they have those blue tarps, and people are are just living their regular lives and not getting them fixed. And him seeing that, he started his own investigation, and he pretty much was like, hey, what is going on? And the people that he spoke to is that they can't afford to get their roofs fixed, either after hurricanes or just minor leaks or major leaks. So he partnered and started a task force and solicit help of other city entities like the housing and community development manager, and try to see how he can get different funds or grants or just different funds available for people in this area who don't quite meet the criterias for other programs, like having to be a vet or having to be elderly, just regular people who just can't afford to get their homes fixed. So and these people who live in those homes, they don't necessarily know that there are programs out there. So again, that goes back to the issue that I decided to tackle. How do we engage the community? How do we inform them, keep them abreast on issues or information that is for them? So in speaking with Miss Goodley and Mr. Goose, Councilman Goose, I was able to see that we really have an issue in this area. The issue is that we have city officials and meetings going on, but they're going on during the times that this working force, this class, is at work, or they are, they have children at school. Most of these meetings are held at 9 a.m. versus other meetings like the city council meetings. They have one in the morning, and then they also have one at 6 p.m., which that one has a bigger turnout because those people are home or off work at that time and they can attend. So my recommendation would be to offer meetings where where the community can come in and voice their opinions, raise issues that, or have, can talk about their issues outside of the city meetings, but in this local development on this community advisory board, they can do that. My other recommendation is to, after speaking to Ms. Godley, who is over the CAC, who's the chair for that, and to attract business to the area, one thing that the East Tampa community does not have is that they do not have a marketing team as other CRAs have, the CRAs like Ybor City, Channelside, where they can flash that information to those residents. Hey, we have a new store opening that is, it's a new store for the area, and that those type of small messages. We have a program called Next Door where there are alerts going on that goes to everyone who is signed up in a specific area or zip code, but East Tampa does not have the funds to do that. So my recommendation is creating a line item in the budget for marketing so that we can get out to the community, see what is needed, see what resources they're lacking or what resources are doing well in the area. Also, I believe there needs to be better assessments and surveys. The survey that I was able to find on the City of Tampa under East Tampa's community page, that survey did not have a date, but judging from the information on the survey, the East Tampa community wanted a Walmart, and I do know within the last 3 to 4 years there has been a Walmart has been constructed, and the construction took about a year. So I'm sure that this assessment was over 5 years old. My recommendation would be to do an assessment every 5 years, bring a firm in to assess and survey the area, see what those wants and needs are, to see the demographic of the area, because as I stated before, the demographic, the income for an average family is $30,000. What a lot of people don't know is that, and especially Ms. Godley, the chair, informed me, is East Tampa is a mixture of retirees, new homeowners, and renters. So that also take a play in the median income for East Tampa versus South Tampa, where the median income is $90,000 or more. So those assessments and surveys will be able to show what is, what type of demographic that East Tampa is dealing with. I did learn a lot of valuable information from my two experts. Especially with me wanting to throw my hat in the political realm, it is very important to know your community and to attend these meetings. But one of the hardest things is attending the meetings when you are like myself, a mother of 6, a full-time student, and work full-time. It's hard to cut out an hour or two out of your month or however many meetings you want to go to attend these meetings, to see a line, to present an issue or suggestion, and having to see it through is really hard to make time to do that. But if those things were offered after 6 p.m., there would be a higher turnout. And also in the parts of engaging the community, having flyers, using social media to our advantages like the other CRAs, but actually having a budget to do so. That is how you remedy the issue of engaging the community. So yes, there are a lot of things that need to be done in East Tampa. There are different people put into place to help those things pass, but in order to have that and to see the need of the community, we need the community to engage. So those 2 points of doing an assessment of the area and survey the area, and get good numbers into the system, I do believe that would help community engagement, and that will bring some of the things to the area that is needed, because East Tampa is considered a food desert. We don't have a brick and mortar quality grocery store, and that was in part of the assessment that I found on the East Tampa website, that people wanted a grocery store. 5 years later, we have a Walmart with the grocery store in it, but there is no grocery store in the area. So those little things could come up. Some wanted restaurants and things of that nature, but we have to be able to see how many people are in the, or give a, see who's in the area, and we can get that information from those surveys. So I really did enjoy my case study. I enjoyed the people that I interviewed. I even was able to, make some really good contacts with the different councilmen who sit on the board, and those who are in chairs, to give me some very vital information about my community. And it also, put a sense of urgency with me to get more involved in that sector, because, I'm considered young. I am passionate about where I stay, the schools in the area, and I would really like to start being a little bit more involved in my immediate space. So thank you guys for your time. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'm a bit nervous. I'm filming this after all the kids are asleep. So any questions, feel free to let me know, and I'll try my best to answer them to the best of my ability. Thank you, and have a good day.